Hi, everyone. I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. This is your weekly energy reading where we talk about how this energy, the collective energy, the energy that impacts each and every one of us, is affecting you, helping you to understand the things that you're feeling and helping you to understand how you can make the most of the energy that we have going on this week. And what an energy it is. Are you guys feeling this build up to the solar eclipse? So a little catch up. So first of all, let me explain what we're going to do here. So I'm going to talk about what's going on a little bit in the energy, a little bit in the astrology, what messages I have coming through, what we need to understand about this energy, and then we're going to build on those messages with the tarot card. So this is exactly the stuff that you love. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're watching this replay on my YouTube channel. And that way you can catch all the videos that I share here on the channel. Or if you're watching this live or watching the replay on my Facebook or my YouTube, please hit that like button. Please comment, whatever you need to do. So let's talk about what's going on. So to back up, we have been in what we call an eclipse portal. So we have these eclipses that are happening next to one another. So we had about 2 weeks ago, we had that lunar eclipse that came in, and that lunar eclipse came in to give us an opportunity to start to recognize what it is that we needed to clear out of our lives, what it is that we needed to let go of. I tend to think about lunar eclipses as clearing and very connected with clearing and releasing and a very powerful period of transformation and transition in our lives whenever we're around this energy. So we want to pay attention to what's been coming up for us during this time, because we're in this eclipse portal. So we're in this in-between time between that lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse that's coming up tomorrow. So today is the 1st, tomorrow is the 2nd. And so the solar eclipse is coming up on the 2nd, and we can already feel like the buildup of the intensity. I felt like technology has been really weird. Like I've had some issues with like my monthly reading on my membership and all kinds of like weird little glitchy things. Have you guys noticed that in this energy? And I think that it's because it's just so strong and so powerful. And can you feel the power of this coming in? I feel like lunar eclipses are about closing things out. And then this in-between period is about showing us what we need to see. And the solar eclipse really kind of brings that all to a head. It really says to us, okay, what have I been shown? What have I seen during this time period? What do I now understand better? So I want you to just look back even on the past 2 weeks of your life and say, what does this help me to see? What does this help me to understand? What is it that I now know or understand better or I have a better sense of? That's going to give you a sense of the work that you're doing around this eclipse and the things that you need to understand, the things that you need to be taking action on, especially as we move into that solar eclipse, because solar eclipses are about the beginning of a new chapter. Now, it's not a new chapter that's going to develop right away tomorrow necessarily, although it certainly could. I think there are a lot of new beginnings that are happening for people. I think that we're stepping into a lot of new, fresh energy or refreshed energy in some cases where things are there's been some work done and things are feeling lighter and things are feeling better. And this is the direction that we're heading. But I think leading up to this and even throughout the course of this week, there's been a lot of things that are happening and that will happen that are opening our eyes, that are helping us to see the truth in a situation, to see and to understand and to take a look at that. And I've been saying we've got to be willing to look at that. Even if that truth isn't what we expected, even if that truth isn't the direction that we wanted things to go, our ego can step in and it can say, but I don't understand and I don't like this and why? And it's okay to ask those questions. And I think it's also okay to take some time and take care of yourself as you're licking your wounds or as you're realizing and recognizing that something didn't go the way that you wanted it to go. But I don't even think that this is true for everyone, right? I think some things is like just a truth that we needed to understand so that we can take the actions that we need to take. So what actions are you feeling like you need to take? What have you and are you being shown during this? Because there are major shifts that are happening for us, and they are happening for us. So I want you to keep that in mind, but there's a lot of things being moved around, behind the veil. There's a lot that our guides, our angels, God, the universe, whatever that is for you, there's a lot that's happening and there's a lot that's shifting. But again, we have to be willing to trust that what's happening, what's changing, what's shifting is happening for us, or helping to show us what we need to see in order to get where we need to be. I didn't even intentionally rhyme there, but here we are. So we want to be paying attention. We want to be noticing and looking at, okay, what are the shifts that are happening? And we want to be willing to embrace the changes, because I think for a lot of us, we're in places, in positions where we're like, I didn't expect to be here. I didn't expect that this path was going to take me here. And that is the magic of eclipse season, even if it doesn't quite feel like magic just yet, but it's setting us up for circumstances that are going to be even better. And it's putting us on the path that we need to be on in order for us to be living our best life. And so, can we trust it? And I think a lot of what we're seeing, a lot of what's happening, like I'm getting this enough is enough energy. Have you reached that point in some area of your life where you're feeling like, you know what, enough is enough? I've had enough, and I'm no longer willing to put myself out in the same way, or I'm no longer willing to continue in the same way, or it's time for me to walk away from something that I recognize, like, I've given it everything I could, and it's still not working, or it's still not happening in the way that I want it to. So it's time, enough is enough, time to walk away, time to move forward with my life and be willing to lean in, shift into this new chapter that is available to us. But what do we want this new chapter to look like? Right. And I think that this is important for us to be taking a look at, and to be now, especially as we move to the other side of this eclipse, I think we can start to get intentional with that. The solar eclipse will be happening with the new moon. And so tomorrow, and especially in the days right immediately after that, so Thursday, Friday, those are going to be really good days to sit down and write out, what does this next chapter of my life look like for me? Keeping in mind that we want to leave some wiggle room for God to work some magic into that, to create what's going to be absolutely best. Because I think so often we have our vision is short-sighted, right? We don't always see what is going to be best. And so if you're stubborn like me, you may want to be open to letting this energy move you, letting this energy show you, because here now, this is a time as we step into the solar eclipse of reclaiming our energy. It's time. It's time to reclaim our energy. It's time to reclaim our power. And you might even say something like out loud, because this is much more powerful when you do that, I now call all of my energy back to me. Because where have we allowed our energy to be divided and split and sent into so many different directions, right? Where are we worrying about people that we don't need to be worrying about, or allowing our focus to be on people, places, and things that don't truly matter? And where are we allowing ourselves to not be whole in our lives because our energy is focused on people, places, and things that aren't important for this next chapter that we're stepping into? So we want to call all of our energy back, because it can fragment and split and be sent in different directions, right? Where are you trying to control somebody else when that's like, you have no business doing that. Even if you feel like you do that from a place of love, we want to allow people to have their free will and honor that. And so if you're focused on trying to get somebody to make a specific decision or to do something specific, and so much of your energy is invested into that, then you are not whole and you are not allowing yourself to be as empowered as you could be if you call all of your energy back and you say, okay, God, okay, universe, let's work together to move me into this next chapter in a way that's going to serve me in the best ways possible. Are you guys feeling this energy? Are you here in this enough is enough energy? Are you feeling like, you know what? Yeah, I have been splitting my energy all over the place, and it's time for me to call it all back to myself and get focused on what does this next chapter look like, and how can I show up as the best version of me in this next chapter? Because I think that that's really important too. How can you begin to show up now, today, as the best version of you, as the version of you that you're thinking of, right? You might not feel like you're completely there, and that's okay. This is about, how can I embody that? I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Like, what does this best version of me, how does she show up in this world? How does she speak? How does she carry herself? How does she allow other people to treat her? What does her morning routine look like? How does she manage her time? How does she set boundaries? All of these things to consider as we're navigating this energy. Because again, I think that what we're doing is we're creating this character that's stepping into this next chapter. And don't you want your character, don't you want your hero in the story to be as powerful as possible, the best version of you possible? And so focusing on that, focusing on calling all of this back and allowing the changes that are wanting to happen, right? Not trying to fight them, not trying to control them, not trying to argue with them. It's okay to feel what you feel around them. It's okay to cry about it, feel upset about it. And then you come back to your power and you say, okay, show me what you got. Show me what this next chapter is going to look like. Show me how great it can be. I want you guys to put that in comments. Show me how great it can be. Show me how amazing it can be. Show me everything that can support me in living my best life. So show me how great it can be. This is a great way for us to claim that and for us to begin to call back our power. So I think that this is so important for us to look at, where have we been undervalued? Where have we felt undervalued? And what do we need to do about it, right? We can complain about it, but what the hell is that going to do? It's time for us to take a look at that and say, okay, so if I've been undervalued, why have I been allowing that? What is it that I need to adjust? What is it that I need to work on within me in order to never let somebody do that to me again? How do I need to show up in the world so that when people are interacting with me, or when I'm at my work or whatever this is, that I'm presenting and I'm being received as somebody that is of high value? Because the fact is, you already are of high value, but if your energy isn't speaking that to your boss, to your relationships, to this world, then you will continue to be undervalued. And so now is the time for us to embody that version of ourselves that values ourselves. Act like you love yourself, and eventually you will. And so that is very much this energy right now. But let me know, are you guys feeling this stuff? It feels a little feisty to me, to be honest. Are you feeling a little fiery? Are you feeling a little feisty? I do also feel like there's going to be quite a build up to the full moon later on in the month of October. I talked all about that in my monthly reading and my membership. So I would love to have you guys jump in and be able to check that reading out, get that bird's eye view of what the month looks like, what to expect. I have it all laid out with a printable cheat sheet that you can check in on all throughout the month, so you know where the energy is at, so that when you have those moments where you're like, what the hell is going on with the energy? I have that information available to you. So that you can check that out at claritybychristy.com, but I will put that in comments too. You can get your first month free. Just put in all caps, free month. Check it out for a month, see what you think. I have over 3 years worth of content up there, and I'm on a mission to add 30 new members by the end of the year. And we're moving along, but you guys can help me to keep up the momentum. So if you've been on the fence, this is a great time to jump in and join. And we would love to have you in the membership. We're building it together. So it's like, I'm asking, like, what do you guys want? And what can I create for you? What classes, what tools, what meditations, what hypnosis sessions can I create for you so that it becomes this tool and this source of spiritual growth, personal growth that's going to help to support you with whatever it is that you need. That's my intention. That's my goal. And there's so many tools up there already. Hi, Pat. Nice to see you on here. Looks like on my end, and I don't know, again, technology is being weird. It looks like a blank comment. So I don't know what you said, but I don't know if that's just a glitch or what's going on here. Yeah, how many do we have? All right, so we're just pulling cards, and then we will dive into the cards and we'll build on the messages that we already covered. Yeah. So we have the moon card here, right? So I think that this is very much connected to, again, what have you been shown recently? What's been showing up for you? Even if, like, sometimes I feel like with the moon card, it's like stuff we don't want to see, right? It's like, oh, let me just like tuck that away. This is not a time to bury your head in the sand. And this is talking about that. It also feels like, even if you don't see it, even if it doesn't make sense and you don't have total clarity on why something happened the way it did or why something is going in the direction that it's going, it doesn't mean that you have this help, you have this support, and behind the scenes, right? Like your guides, your angels, your higher power, God, the universe, whatever you want to call that, right? And this is just that acknowledgement that you're being supported, and you might not get it. It might not make sense. It might not click, but there's a higher plan happening here. Can we lean into the higher plan? Can we trust it? Because when we have the moon, we always have the sun later, right? Like when we have a lunar eclipse, we always have a solar eclipse coming up. And so the sun is going to come out. The light is going to come in. Things are going to click. It might take some time. You might need some perspective, right? You might not understand all of it, but it doesn't mean that it's not right. It doesn't mean that it's not meant to be happening here in our world. The Four of Cups is next. I think that we also want to be taking a look at, like, where do I just not feel like things are happening for me? Where am I frustrated with that? We want to acknowledge that, but we don't want to dwell in that too much, because here with this Four of Cups, like we have this hand, it's meant to represent like the hand of God reaching out. And this person is so focused on what isn't working, what isn't going well, they're not seeing the blessing. And this combined with the moon, it's like there's a lot that we are seeing, but there's a lot that we're not seeing, right? I think we're seeing what we need to see to do what we need to do and to understand what we need to understand right now. But do we understand the full picture? Probably not. Do we understand the blessings that are awaiting us in this new chapter? Probably not. Probably not yet, right? But we have to look up. We have to allow ourselves to recognize it and to trust it, that what's meant for us will never pass us by. And that there are beautiful blessings that are wanting to come into our experience. But again, we're going to miss that if we're so focused on the past. This is not the time. Like, you do not want to be focused on the past right now. It's okay to process it. It's okay to like feel into it. That's okay. But if the past is defining your present and your future, and it's holding you back from stepping into a new chapter, that's a problem right now. And so can we choose to release it? Can we choose to say, you know what? Show me how great it can be, right? Because this card is about you being shown how great it can be, but you have to watch for it. You have to pay attention because it might be subtle. It might not look like what you expected it to look, and this is okay. Temperance card in reverse, because a lot of things are happening right now. Things we've been waiting on. And again, it might not happen the way that we expected it to. So many times, like, things manifest, things develop. God blesses us. God creates miracles for us. But because it doesn't happen the exact way that we pictured it, we either ignore it or we miss it or we fail to recognize it. And it's like, no, see what's showing up for you, recognize what's showing up for you, because things are happening. And be open to how you're defining your success. Be open to how you're defining things developing, things moving forward, things happening. Because I think if you are open to them happening differently, you're going to find divine timing is now, right? That you're ready. Because I just get the sense like we've been doing a lot of work to prepare us for divine timing, because divine timing is just another way of saying that we're finally ready to receive the blessings that we've been asking for. And I very much get this energy here with this card. And I think that this is so important. Seven of Swords in reverse, but enough is enough. Enough is enough. We've had enough of people treating us ways that on some level we know that we don't deserve. We're tired of dishonesty. We're tired of gossip. We're tired of people violating our boundaries. We're done. We're done. We're walking away from things, right? And we're stepping into this new chapter, and what belongs in the new chapter is going to be in the new chapter, and what wants to clear out and what wants to go, let that go. Do not try to hold on to it, because it is not meeting a standard that God has set for you. And I think that this is really key and this is really important. Seven of Wands in reverse. Maybe we don't have to defend ourselves so much anymore. Maybe we don't have to explain ourselves so much anymore. Maybe we can just be and exist and move in the direction of the life that we're trying to create without inviting everybody in to offer their opinion. Or maybe we don't have to protect ourselves, protect our hearts so much and expect the worst. Maybe we have to let our guard down in order to allow God to create the kind of blessings that we need to create. So where have we been a little bit more armored or protective, or expecting the worst because we don't want to be disappointed? I caught myself doing that this week, and it's like, why are you doing that? Like, what? You don't want to manifest from that energy. That's not the energy we want to create from. But I think we've been taught to do that, right? So stop expecting the worst and expect the best. Again, show me how great it can be, but then expect that it can be great, expect that it will be great, and let that come in without feeling like we have to shut down and protect and guard and armor and all of these things. I think that we're being shown what wants to come in right now and what wants to go, and it's all good because it's all happening for us. Three of Wands. It's all happening for us, and it is happening. Things are developing. We're watching things develop. We're watching things happen. And I think in a lot of ways, it's like, as we let go, it's like, whoa, I let that go. And all of these blessings came in on the other side of that, because I was willing to do that. I was willing to release my fear that I was using to protect myself with, because you're not actually protecting yourself with your fear. It's blocking you. And so as you release that and you let yourself be hopeful and you let yourself be excited, even if you don't know what you're excited for because you have no idea what's coming, you don't understand the things that are happening, you don't understand the things that are developing, you let it go anyway. You surrender it. You let it flow. You just say, let's just see what can happen. Show me how great it can be. And you just allow that. We're in a powerful position. if we choose to accept it, if we choose to allow it, if we choose to let what wants to be moved, and we choose to begin to embody this version of ourselves that has all of those things that we want and that's living that life already of that person that we want to be, because we never want to be that version of ourselves without having some understanding on some level that we're not only capable of that, but that we are destined to step into that energy. So those are your messages, guys. Powerful stuff. Let me know how these messages resonate with you. If you watched all the way to the end, let me know. Please comment, please like, do all the things. Please share, tag somebody below that you think needs to hear these messages, because these are really important. I'm sending you all so much love. I'm going to be heading out for the 48-hour vibe upgrade that I'm doing with Nicole Eaton. I cannot wait to meet some of these incredible souls that are going to be joining me. It's going to be so much fun. I have a lot coming up that I'm going to be sharing with all of you, so I can't wait to share all of that with you as well. I love you all. I will see you next week with another video. Take care.